Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
Give me the meat, and give it to me raw.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f*** yourself. But go f*** yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
We want to enjoy what we're looking at. We don't want sores and fat whores.
Liar!
No.
Let me be as clear as I can. Ain't no colors in Scandinavia.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Welcome, everybody, to another round table where we go over the week's insanity and do it with some fun, some pizzazz, and make you remember that you're not alone out there, that we're all on this same horrible timeline together. But we're here to make it a little less worse for you. I am Adam, the Renaissance Nerd. Let's say hello to the round table, and let's get right to business because, as usual, we're on a schedule here. Jed, you there?
Yes, I am here. And yes, we have a lot to talk about today, so I'll keep my introduction short. Jed, doing great. Moving on.
All right, I love it. Dre, you sleep a lot more these days.
Yeah, things are going well for me. I'm having a good week. Had an adventure this weekend dealing with all types of winter weather. But other than that, I'm doing fantastic. And Echo was a terrible experience.
Yes. You were our man on the street for that one because we weren't going to subject ourselves to it, but we made you do it. And we're going to let you go off on that very soon. Dragon Lady, how are you? Good evening.
I'm doing all right. I'm playing around with Canva at the moment, the new painting app. So just having a mess around with it at the moment. So it should be all right.
That's how you learn. You mess around with the app, that kind of stuff, and you figure out how that shit works. So hey, congratulations, get working. You'll get the hang of it, I'm sure. And let's say hail and howdy to the chat, and let's dive right in, guys. Hail, a Goddess Legion is one of my mods, one of my regulars here to keep the peace and be my personal troll, to keep me from getting too, I guess, egotistical about things. He'll take me down a peg. Damn it. I just washed my hands. They're not. There we go. to keep from getting. I do it for myself. I don't let myself get too big ahead there. Hail, good sir, Algrim the Strong. Welcome back, my friend. Good to see you here. Glad that you are doing well. Going on down the list. Hail, Ruben X. How are you? And guys aren't chatting much, but hello to everybody out there. Hello to everybody out there. Welcome. Glad you're here on this busy Sunday afternoon. We hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Hit that like button. Hail Hussein. I see you there. And I will do my best if you guys come in late to say hello to you guys. I always try to remember to say hi to people coming later on. Let you know I see you. And I appreciate everybody that's here. And without further ado, let's just dive right in. I don't want to beat around the bush. We got a lot to go through. It was an interesting week. Once again, I wondered when we started off, what the hell are we going to do this weekend? Because let's remember, we're in 2024. It's going to be lean when it comes to Hollywood releases. We're going to have some stuff. There are some things, but there's going to be gaps where we're going to have to figure out what are we going to talk about. This is one of those weeks where I worried, wow, we're a good 2 weeks away from February where we're going to have a host of things to review and talk about. Most of it bad, maybe some of it passable. And this week we were blessed with two. One we knew about it, another one right away. We just were, damn. It started off the week with a gallop. Let's just say we started off knowing that Echo was going to be garbage. And Dre, before we let you get into it, it was garbage, wasn't it?
Oh, hey, can I ask just one question?
Okay,
Dre. Was it so bad that it left a trail of
Pun,
tears?
you son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
It leave a trail of tears
Goddamn.
down your cheeks?
Goddamn. I do not approve of this.
Yes, and is
Was it off the
Bruh.
reservation?
bruh.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! I am not gonna. I
Jen,
will
how much
not
more
pander
trouble
to
do
this
you want
pun
with the
more.
Native American folks? How much more heat do you want? How much more heat can you possibly sustain?
Yeah, yeah. You know, he's right. He's right. Who are you to be doing this? You're a magnet for this trouble. You should know better.
If any community hates you, Jed, it's definitely the Red
Oh,
Rollins.
no.
They shut you
Actually,
down.
every Native American that I spoke to during that debacle and since was with me on it. It's
Yeah, it's just
only
the Karens
woke.
and-
Yeah, just the Karens who were upset at me. So I'm good with that community. They're good with me.
Hail, son of jocks, or huzzah! Right back to you. Yeah. Echo was a disaster. We're gonna give you the platform real soon. After that, but we started the week with Disney Star Wars. It was a bonanza of Disney Star Wars announcements, some of which I think are real, some of which I think will fade away. We're going to talk about that. But then there's the reaction from the stands. There's the fallout of this. And then I want to talk about something. I've talked about it twice this week, but I want to go over it with you guys. The narratives that the Disney Star Wars stands and chills. Oh, excuse me. You know, inhale it. Saliva hits the back of your throat. Stop it! Stop it.
I didn't say anything.
You're shaking your head. You're looking at me. I hate you all. Anyway,
You're doing great.
Yeah, I know. I'm awesome. We've got this narrative that the Disney Stand shows. They're pushing these narratives to try and make us forget Chins and what she said. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I want to talk about that. And then after that, there were firings this week in Amazon and at Disney. And I feel sorry for the people who are getting fired, who were just enacting the will of the retards who aren't going to get fired. We're talking about that. We're talking about that. But to start us off, Jed, what the hell is going on with The Witcher? What's left of the TV show? Why are they hired Lawrence Fishburne to be a vampire?
Yes, that casting announcement really came out of left field, and I think we can all predict the motivations behind the decision. Lawrence Fishburne is a name. He doesn't have the same weight he did, obviously, in the early 2000s or even the 90s.
He is fatter.
See, I was going to make that joke. I made the joke in my video, and you ruined it. You ruined it.
Take that, pun man. Take that.
But yeah, so he's a name, probably one of the biggest names they could get to the franchise after Henry Cavill left, trying to get a little star power to try to save the show. They haven't started filming yet, but they will be soon. And this one is a complicated one. This isn't like in Amazon when they race swapped a bunch of characters in Lord of the Rings. There is a partial justification for this one when it comes to the background of the character, but when it comes to the description of the character and the important aspects of the character, it contradicts it to a strong degree. So Regis the Vampire, he's one of the few beings on the continent who is from prior to the conjunction of the spheres. He remembers the conjunction of the spheres. He can be from any universe. So him being black is fine because he can literally be from anywhere. The problem is his description in the book is very specific when it comes to his physical appearance. So if they gotten a black guy for Regis, that would have been okay. The bigger problem with Lawrence Fishburne is, again, his weight. So this is from Baptism of Fire, my favorite Witcher book, in fact, and it has a description of this character here. They saw a grizzled head and then a face embellished with a nobly angular nose, belonging by no means to a ghoul, but to a slim, middle-aged man. The man did indeed somewhat resemble a tax collector. Now, they go into it more detail, but he's supposed to be small, old-looking, and very unassuming. He looks like a hermit, looks like a tax collector. He just looks like a money pincher. He looks like a very, very unassuming man, but then he turns out to be one of the most dangerous creatures on the continent. He is a higher vampire. This is literally, like, if him and Geralt got into a fight, this is about the most dangerous antagonist Geralt could choose. but obviously Regis is a hero. So this is how he was portrayed in the Witcher 3 video game. This is what we should be looking for. Now, if he was black, this is actually one of the only characters that I'm okay with race swapping in The Witcher because there is a justification for it. There are a few others like Bissell I'm okay with because she's from the Deep South, close to what the stand-in for the Sahara Desert is. That one's okay. But for this one, they got on a small, unassuming, skinny, wispy kind of guy. Totally fine. This is what he looks like when he goes into his vampire mode. Very intimidating, though. We need an actor who can play both sides, the unassuming man and the intimidating force of nature. Lawrence Fishburne can't do either of those in his current condition. He's just too old, too fat, and if this were a voice acting role, he'd be perfect. I would say he's
completely different.
100%. Yeah. He's got a very strong voice. He's got a very intimidating voice. He could do the voice, but that's about it. So this is 100% a decision driven by a name and, of course, most likely because of diversity as well, because that seems to be a high priority for them.
Yeah, it's Netflix. Sometimes they get it right, and then sometimes it's why. Oh,
it's why.
DEI.
DEI. Under the right circumstances, is like if this were a good show, this next season would be the one that I was most excited for. Like I just said, the next book is my favorite book. It's mostly Geralt gathering together a crew of misfits to fight through a war zone to get to Ciri, who's trapped on the other side of this war zone. And so he's gathered a dwarf. He's got a vampire. He's got Milva, who's been race swapped into an Asian chick in the show, played by the actress who played Shang-Chi's sister in Shang-Chi. And it's this whole little group, including a woman who eventually they find who looks just like Ciri, who some people mistook for Ciri. Like, it's a really nice, contained adventure story. And it could have been incredible with the right cast, with the right writers. But no one's going to watch this. No. Lawrence Fishburne is not going to make people go, you know what? I had decided to stop watching the show in season 3 when it was terrible. And then Henry, the only reason I was watching it, left. So I wasn't going to watch season 4. But Lawrence Fishburne, man, I just love me some Morpheus. I'm going to start checking this out again. No, not a single person on the planet's going to do that. So if they had cast this right, like, you'd have to Denzel Washington it. If it were Denzel Washington, he'd be perfect for the role.
Different.
He's got the right look, and he's a big enough name to appeal.
And he's still in shape.
Denzel
can still kick ass.
There's ways they could do it, and they're bringing it up in the chat. They don't have the budget for a CGI to make this vampire truly come to life anymore, because the CGI was already fading pretty heavily in season 3.
It wasn't good.
It got pretty rough.
It wasn't Marvel's Katie. It was the sister. It's not. Aquafina.
No, it's not Aquafina.
Aquafina is Marvel's Katie.
No, it's his actual sister that was running like the fighting league or whatever.
Who insulted him and also insults Geralt very nicely.
Oh yeah, that's what she spends the entirety season 3 doing.
You'd be dead. You'd be dead. You'd be dead. You'd be dead. I'm a Whammons, and you're just a man. Witcher is doomed, and this could have been. I mean, we've talked about this before. This could have been the dark fantasy fix that people needed for years to come. It could have been an iconic thing for Henry Cavill. And it's the sad tale of Henry Cavill. He keeps getting these roles that he wants to be in that he could make his own for decades to come. But he gets saddled with both, and not on his end, identity politics and people pushing those identity politics. And therefore wanting to do agenda entertainment, not escapism entertainment, because they care about pushing their message and not satisfying the actual fan base. But it's that same chasing of the stand base, who in the end don't move the needle and don't have any sort of love or passion outside of virtue signaling. They have passion, but it's to go, oh, look at me. I'm praising this perfectly diverse thing. Isn't it grand?
Oh, it's been hilarious to see the few people I know on Twitter who are still supporting The Witcher try to defend this casting. Of course, they start with, oh, it's brave and stunning that they race swapped. Oh, it's a black person. Yay, yay, yay. But then they have to caveat it with, but it's kind of weird, isn't it, though, right? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Wow, hypocrisy.
But yeah, even they realize that this is a major miscast. A major miscast. He's got a great voice, but he doesn't have the look. He doesn't have the physicality. He can't pull off this role. There's not a role I think that I could come up with that would be good for Lawrence Fishburne in this universe, unless he were playing a dwarf. I could see a dwarf.
Or he's going to sit there for a while
Mm.
and ask you if you want donuts or something. I don't know. That was a joke we used to do back in the day during the Matrix. I'm Morpheus, and I'm going out for donuts. Would you like some donuts? Would you like the blue donut or the red donut? I mean, we used to have a bunch of Lawrence Fishburne donut jokes. I know it's so out there and left field and internal to my little world that doesn't even exist anymore. It's weird, but I had to mention it because I wanted to. Anywho, well, Witcher's done. Jed, are you gonna bother? Are you gonna bother watching to review it? I mean, you're not gonna make us watch it this time, are you?
No, I'll have to see when we get closer because it is still over a year out. We've got 2 spin-offs coming before then. We got the Sirens of the Deep anime, which is about mermaids, not sirens. And then we've got the Rat spin-off, which is supposedly supposed to restart up production again soon. They're partway through it. They got supposedly production delayed because of the actors and writer strikes. So we got both of those coming. I think I'm at least going to check out the Rats because that's got 0 source material that they're basing it off of. And it's just a bunch of diverse Gen Z. It's basically medieval Robin Hood, the show, like the one that just came out. Imagine that exact show in a medieval universe. And that's
you're
going
to have a lot of fun. I think you'll have a lot of fun with that one.
So that one I'm going to have fun with, but we'll have to see where I'm at in a year and a half from now, 2 years from now, before I make a decision when it eventually comes out.
It's too far out, but
it's way too far out, but I just don't see enough interest to warrant it. Yes, Witcher is the most profitable thing on my channel. It always get, even like Witcher Blood Origin, it's always great for my channel, so we'll see if that's still the case, but I just don't see enough people giving a shit.
You're going to cringe watch the hell out of Rats then, I think.
Yes.
It's low-hanging fruit. Just do it. Well, like you will cringe watch that. I'm going to cringe watch everything Disney Star Wars because it's too good not to do it. But before that, I just realized Dre's shaking his head.
You okay, Dre?
No, Dre, I have to let you talk about Echo before we go in far. I want to get that out of the way. So Echo happened. I've watched plenty of stream at this point, either on it or where somebody else is ranting and raving, or watching other people break it down. This thing sounds like it was a complete and utter mess in terms of narrative, characters, and let alone just plain ridiculous with this deaf chick with one leg. So, how much of you is left after watching this?
There's nothing left because I was so bored, like literally, like boredom. Like it wasn't even like outrageous enough for you to be like, "Oh my God, can you believe?" It was so boring. I mean, I was bored to tears. My wife was sitting next to me. She was on her phone or whatever. She kept looking back over at me and she was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No." No,
I am not okay.
I was bored to tears. I've never been that bored before in my life. In my life, I had never been that bored. I used to go with my dad to paint jobs, okay? And I literally had to watch paint dry, all right? Okay? Growing up, I literally had to watch paint dry so I can let them know when we're putting on the second coat, okay? This was more boring than that. I cannot stress how this is poorly directed, poorly written, poorly acted, except for Vincent D'Onofrio, which was completely wasted. That man's talent is being wasted. I was so bored, I almost thought about urinating on myself.
Oh
just
no!
To have something to do.
That wasn't the first episode just a giant recap of everything.
It was a recap. It was 40-minute recap of what happened in Hawkeye because nobody watched that. So
nobody watch it.
So they had to waste the entire episode on a recap, and they're building up like, oh, she's going back home, going to her roots, Native American, blah blah blah, whatever. And she was a villain of this series. It's not even a question about morality or is she really bad? Yeah, like she goes to her hometown. Innocent people just minding their business and puts them in peril. they're dying. Like people are dying. And then we got people like I think it was her uncle character, whatever, that ran the roller rink. He comes to her like, "Yo, you're ruining our lives. Like, go away."
And everybody has to sign at her too, don't they?
Yes,
because
she
can't read
okay.
lips.
All right, here we go. Now I have to get a little nerd out here. Okay.
Okay.
So Echo originally, yes, she is deaf. That's correct. And her original ability was she was pretty much Taskmaster.
Yeah,
Anything
I've heard that.
she sees, she can do. That's why she was able to learn Daredevil's moves in the comics and stuff like that, which makes sense. And she can read lips and stuff. This one can't read lips. And I'm just like, they have to sign? And it slows this. When I say it puts this joint to a crawl space, I'm telling you. Because they're speaking, like for those that know people that do ASL, like I have friends that do ASL and stuff like that. Like those that learn, they speak
go
and do it.
It's crazy.
The ones that are actually still still speak, they still speak because they're used to speaking. They'll speak and then do the things, do the symbols. They do that throughout this entire show. So someone is actually saying the words and signing it. So we already know what they're saying, but now we're waiting for the hand gestures to finish. So we as the audience, there's like an extra 5 seconds in every interaction, and we're just sitting there waiting for the camera to pan to the broad so she can respond. I'm telling you, I was so bored. I cannot stress enough. I was ready to be like, you know what, let me turn this off. I like out of the first episode, the recap, I said, okay, the first episode was a recap. There's 4 episodes left and nothing has happened yet.
Well, they shaved off episodes because they didn't want to damage the Daredevil brand.
Yeah, that's right. Because they knew, like that's why they dumped. Like, what did Kevin Feige say? That it was unwatchable.
I believe so.
But I guess for whatever reasons, the Native community or something. Now, this is what I'll say. Like I said in my review, I'm gonna give a little credit. Stuff that dealt with like the Native American communities and like their tribe stuff and all that other like their rituals and things. That was nice. That was nice to see. But this ain't Nova, okay? For those that remember what Nova is, this ain't Nova. All right, we're not here to see natives in their National Geographic. That's not what we come to see. We come to see an action adventure gritty show, which got TVMA rating for no reason.
I'm not surprised.
One gunshot. One
dude got shot.
Yeah, this is something that I predict for this show and for the upcoming Deadpool 3 is Disney still wants their family-friendly brand, but they know if they market things as MA or R, that'll appease some of the fans. So they'll do the bare minimum, or just like you said, pencil whip the rating just to get that marketability.
There was no foul language. There was one shooting. There was no vicious beating. I sat there. I said after the 5 episodes went and I wiped the drool from my mouth. I was like, wait, did something happen that made it TVMA? I'm like,
did I miss a titty or something? Like, I don't know what.
Nothing. I mean, did somebody drop an F-bomb or something? Like, did I miss something? Because I definitely went catatonic for about 70 consecutive minutes and just kind of sat there.
How long was each episode?
Each episode was about 40 minutes.
Wow.
40 minutes. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me subtract like recap and in credit. So like 37.
Okay.
That's a bit long for a Disney Plus show.
I was gonna say I was hoping for your sake they'd pull the usual. Oh, we're gonna just give you a 22 minutes, 23 minutes.
No.
Yeah, those are
no. They wanted to give me old school Ric Flair up the nutsack.
Oh, okay? I get that one.
All right, Dre. I've heard rumors about a certain event that took place with Echo that I need confirmation on, and if it is true, I need to see Adam's reaction to it. How did she lose her leg?
Oh, I've heard of this.
Man, I've heard this. I pushed that out my memory. Oh.
So as I understand it, her deaf mother was driving her deaf child, and they're busy signing to each other, and then there's an accident, and Glass somehow finds a way to cut her leg off.
How retarded this show is. So, okay, first of all, I'm not going to put any fault on the young lady that was the actress. It's not on her. She's a baby. I'm not going to put this on her. So what happens is her mom takes her out for ice cream in the middle of the night.
Why?
It doesn't even matter. Take her out for ice cream in the middle of the night because she wanted ice cream. And we know that her dad is part of the sweatsuit gang and all that other stuff. So it is implied, and I use that term very loosely, implied that some rival gang or something tampered with the brakes, right? So so she's stepping on the brakes, it don't work. Now, as a driver, would you A, try to turn to the dirt and slow down, or B, continue to drive straight into oncoming traffic?
Well, I'm a man, so I would try to do the smart thing. I don't know about women drivers. But,
So, our heroine's mom decides to drive in oncoming traffic.
Whee!
I can't make this up, man. I can't make this up. So then a truck hits her, whatever. Now, this is when my brain was still functioning. So a start of
Wait,
glass.
do you see this, or is this just told?
Oh, you see it. You see it.
Okay.
So the truck hits them. They scurry on the side of the road. Then it like a little time skip, maybe a minute or so goes by. And there's a big old blade of glass that it gets into the foot of the baby. Okay.
The physics don't seem
I
to
don't
work.
know how. I don't even know.
Was she doing a handstand in the car when they were crashing?
I can't make this up. I mean, when I say a blade of glass, I mean like a shitar. You know, like the Arab swords, like that kind of size of a blade of glass went into the baby's foot. This baby ain't yell. This baby ain't scream. This baby just looked at like, Mom, I'm a dog.
It's signed.
Oh my god.
All right.
Disney MCU, folks.
To be clear, this is not as bad as I heard it was. Someone told me it was a slot machine that fell on their car and broke their windshield.
That would have been better.
Now, if she's
It still had the same result, like glass.
Why now? If she's deaf, why did she be like this when it landed her feet?
Adam, anything would have been acceptable. Anything. Like, I understand that the
we all are
mute. No, she's deaf. The baby's deaf.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you don't feel pain.
They're superhuman, Dre. All disabled, diversity, non-binaries, the superpowers we learned from Doctor Who.
I mean, bruh, like I sat there dumbfounded, and I looked at my wife, and I said, "You see that?"
She's like, "No, I'm doing something else important."
Yeah, I was like, did that glass go into that baby, and that baby ain't cry or nothing? So when we cut to the next scene, she's in the hospital. Leg just got cut off. No tears, no questions. Just went on about her day. She was like, "Oh, is mom mad at me?" I'm like,
"Is mom mad at you?"
I'm like, "What are you?" I'm like, "What's happening?"
What?
I'm like, who's writing this? And then the grandmother, who also is a Super Saiyan for some reason. The grandmother.
What?
Oh yeah, she's a Super Saiyan. So the grandmother gets mad at the dad. He wasn't even there. And then banishes him and the baby after her daughter just killed in a car accident.
It sounds like none of this. It feels as though things are missing, and they decided to just go with whatever they filmed. I don't know.
This was like in the editing bay. They must have just took a machete to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was gonna say.
It
sounds very badly edited.
Horrible.
I mean, that's
I question my sanity.
To your point, you said maybe a rival gang jimmied the brakes, and that would make sense to banish him. But if you leave that part out, her rage at him makes no sense.
None at all. And so you get mad at your son-in-law and banish the baby.
Maybe maybe the baby had a devil in it.
The baby,
maybe,
then
maybe
the
it's
baby
demon
comes
baby.
back 20
Maybe it's
years
demon baby,
later,
yeah.
and you're still mad.
Wait,
You're mad at
wait.
the
What
baby.
ethnicity was the father?
He's a Mexican. That's the Lopez, Maya Lopez. He's a
Mhm.
Mexican.
Well, I mean,
That might be why she's not a full native.
But she gets all the superpowers.
you missed a deaf person not feeling pain and not going.
A deaf child,
Bruh,
baby.
it was mind-bogglingly insane. And the whole show, she's mad at Echo. And there's no rhyme or reason. There's actually a scene in the show when Maya finally meets up with her grandmother and it's like, yo, why did you kick me out all them years ago? And she was like, because it was about your daddy. And she was like, well, my dad's dead and you didn't contact me then. And I'm sitting there like, that's a good point. I'm like, why didn't you contact? Like, it's too late. And I'm like, who is writing this garbage? Like this, like this wasn't even like oh, it's so woke and blah, blah, blah. Like this was just so. This was embarrassing.
What this feels
was
like
embarrassing.
Committee writing. It feels like committee writing, where it's a bunch of people in the writers' room, just throwing ideas out there, and it's a different group every episode, and they have no idea what happened in the previous episode, so just making shit up, and none of it works.
My brain started to shut down after the second Native American flashback. I when they had the Native girl playing stickball and beating dudes that are 120 pounds heavier
Yeah, I've
than
heard
her,
about that. Yeah,
I almost threw up because she tapped into the Super Saiyan ability.
That's her thing. She instead of being basically another version of Taskmaster, her Echo ability in this show is apparently I can tap into all the great whammons of my line. And
this sounds suspiciously like what happened with. So it sounds very much like what happened with the Assassin's Creed film right towards the end of it, where he hacked into the Anubis and all the ancestors popped up on that bit. That's what that reminded me of when I started hearing about
memory hold that movie so bad. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I watched it once.
Dragon Lady's 100% correct. I pushed that movie out of my brain because that joint was hot garbage. But what she said is absolutely
no, it's okay.
No, Dragon Lady, it's all good, baby. It's your thing. But she's right. That's exactly. I didn't equate it that way. In that movie, he like taps into all the assassins of the past and got their abilities and stuff. Literally, it's the same thing because Echo echoes. I can't make this up because they actually said it in the show, and I almost threw up all over myself. She echoes the great women of her past, and they get Super Saiyan powers when she taps into it. And my question was, like, in each episode shows a different Super Saiyan native lady. So the first episode showed the first one that came out of the mud and was the first Native American, whatever. The second one
came out of the mud.
Out of the mud. I can't make this up.
Could we call her a mud baby?
She is a mud baby. It's true. It's true. So the mud baby came out and then led the first Native American tribe, whatever. Then the second one was Inca or something, and was playing stickball and became a Super Saiyan and beat dudes at 275 pounds. Then the third one became a sharpshooter in the 1800s when her dad was being overrun by white men. Of course.
Did any one of them have the power to nag somebody to death? Because I think that would be a power.
That's all of them.
Okay.
All of them got that power.
Now,
and then the fourth one was her grandmother who gave birth.
That's her power. She gave birth. She's a woman.
God, I hate every and then I gotta jump to the end. No. Let me be fair. Vincent D'Onofrio was greatest Kingpin, and he was wasted. When he was on screen, he had my attention. When he was saying things, I was like, please tell me, what is your plan? Where's your evil scheme? Whose back are you breaking or whatever? Like, every time when he opened his mouth, I paid attention. And now look, my camera's out of focus. Look, my camera.
Well, it's Echo. She's
every time he was on screen, he chewed up the scenery. God bless that man. But he couldn't even save this garbage. Now we got to jump to the finale.
Yeah.
Because this finale was the most insane thing I've ever seen on anything.
Didn't
So-
she made him feel feelings? And that's how
Oh,
she beats him?
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So there's a great powwow, and the powwow was nice. For those that don't know,
That's
what powwow
racist.
is all the Native American folks get together. There's some evil white men. I can't make this up. Evil white men show up in white vans to come and kill people.
So
Your guess is as good as
their
mine.
vans had to be white too.
Oh, you better believe it. You
Okay.
better believe it. So that's one subplot. The main joint. Kingpin has kidnapped Grandma and Maya's niece or whatever. And she shows up and is like, in her Native American garb armor.
She's got
which
an
is the most
outfit. Yeah, I've seen the outfit.
dumb
It's
thing
ridiculous.
I've ever seen. Right to the brain. And when I say she becomes a Super Saiyan in front of everybody by tapping into all the great women's and then passes the ability to her cousin and her grandma.
This feels like goddamn Disney Star Wars. Everybody can have the Force if you try hard.
And like Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Just sharing
Yo.
the power.
When I say grandma is at least 75 years old, okay? She is out there delivering haymakers like she is freaking God, like Mike Tyson. She's delivering haymakers to grown men. Just decking dudes. And then the other one become a gymnastics, and then Maya is a I
gotta wonder, what is running through the mind of people that okay this? I mean, do they even? I don't know the answer to my question. Do they even watch this stuff? No, they don't watch this stuff. They don't realize how stupid this is. To have geriatric kung fu.
I'm part deaf. Oh, so I'm part deaf, and from what I've been hearing about the show, I'm thinking, should I be offended by this or not?
Give me a while. I'm sure I could say something that'll be offensive.
And okay, no, Dragon, you're the target demo. Screw it. You're the target demo in that regard. So if you see a deaf girl with one leg becomes a Super Saiyan and starts beating the tar and then passes that ability on to a 75-year-old woman, how does that move you in any way, shape, or form?
Not unless you can't be cringing until my back snaps.
All right, let me ask this, Dre. In all the combat that we get in this, does anybody ever try to take out, does anybody ever try to take out her fake leg?
No.
I mean, it's the obvious weak point on her body. And I heard that wasn't her leg broken in the beginning and had to get fixed?
Yeah. Wait, her non-severed leg was broken?
Yeah,
no, the fake leg, the fake leg.
Yeah.
Oh, the fake leg was broken.
Yeah, the fake leg got caught in the train.
I'm not gonna ask. Just keep going.
God.
I want to get past this so we can move on to this other stuff.
God, oh right, the train heist. I forgot all about it.
The train heist.
Oh God.
What is this? What did they have to steal money from the train?
No.
We throw Mama from the train. Throw Echo from the train.
She broke a train. She broke into a train to plant a bomb. So it was like a weapons train. She planted a bomb on her escape. She got her robot leg caught in the joint, and then she ascended to a Super Saiyan and then pushed part of the train off so her leg can escape. I can't make this up. I'm not this good. To push it off, then she jumps on her cousin's truck or whatever. The train goes into a facility that's owned by Fisk or something, and then it blows up. Hundreds of innocent people die.
Mm-hmm. But she's a hero.
Innocent people. That's
Doesn't matter.
Nothing to do with her conflict.
She's a hero.
I'm supposed to cheer for you. You murdered 100 people.
I mean,
and they're like,
but she's deaf and has one leg.
Yeah,
like
it's not unlike Disney to have a warped sense of what morality is.
Yo, this is bad. It's bad. I'll just get to the finale.
What does she do to Kingpin?
So,
makes him feel feelings.
Her mother had the Super Saiyan healing powers. Don't care how it works.
So wait, hang on. Is her entire tribe a bunch of goddamn mutants?
Yes. And
the directors were just asked if she's a mutant.
Adam, I think that's exactly where this is going. I think they're literally trying to make them into mutants. I think this is exactly where they're trying to go with this.
Because
And
these
not
are all
only is that
mutant
sick-
powers I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to make them into mutants and then make her a mutant and whatever. Like, hey, look, they made Miss Marvel a mutant. Screw it. Ain't no rules. Just do it. So Kingpin's had enough, and he's about to break her in half, which would have been great. That would have made some really good television. But no, she does the the joint on his chest, which then goes into his mind, which he then sees his childhood, and it's like a flashback. You know how in the Netflix show he always looked at the white walls and stuff.
Mhm.
So he's looking at the white wall, and his mom is getting beat on the other side of the wall, and Echo convinces him to let go of his pain, and you don't have to be angry anymore. And he runs away and goes back to New York. And I was left scratching my head and testes, and had no idea what I had just seen.
You saw the Disney Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's what you've seen.
It is
Cassie Lang, just don't be a dick.
Yeah. Don't be a dick. There you
the
go.
most
Don't
insane
be a dick. Was I a dick? Are we the baddies? Was I a dick? This is ridiculous. This is stupid.
See, once
This is
again,
stupid.
once
It's dumb.
again,
It's
it
dumb.
proves a different problem. They're trying to build Kingpin up to be the big street level villain for all the TV MA stuff that's coming. He's lost twice now. Who else had lost twice? Oh, right, Kang. They're not building villains properly.
It's one thing if you have him lose to Daredevil because that's legitimate.
Yep.
Or have him lose to Spider-Man. And remember, Kingpin is capable of fighting Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The good Spider-Man game, the first one, 2018.
Yeah, I'm only aware of one.
Oh, well.
There was only one Spider-Man.
There's only one Spider-Man.
One. That your opening gambit in the first one, you're helping the police raid Kingpin's building because they're going to arrest him. You have to fight him, and your fight literally goes through floors of the building as you crash through, and it's a
great fight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you see the mechanics and all the interactive stuff you can do. The first time I did it, I screwed up and I got my ass kicked on my replay for a New Game Plus platinum trophy. I kicked his ass because I knew everything was coming. I knew the controls, but it's a fantastic fight because Kingpin's a supervillain. He's a street level supervillain, but he is a supervillain.
Oh, yeah.
And the likes of Daredevil and Spider-Man are his foes, but Echo has beaten him twice, and once with a gun, which apparently missed him in this one.
So, to be fair, in the comics, he does also survive the gunshot in the comics. So, I guess that's what they're trying to do. However, not when you're trying to build this character as the big bad of street levels.
Yeah, that was pretty late in Kingpin's story when he got shot in the comics, right?
Yes. And see, this is the problem. In this show, if you want to make this show worth my while, first, don't make it. But outside of that, have Kingpin win. Have Kingpin win. In whatever shape or form. Of course, he's not going to dominate him because we can't have that. But have him have a tactical advantage. Something that he pulls out of nowhere because he is a tactical genius. Do something that's going to send her off the rails or whatever, or get in her head. And
you can't beat a woman, Dre. What are you talking about? You can't have a man, let alone a white man, beat a woman of diverse nature and disability.
I guess not.
Well, just imagine if when Thanos showed up in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and, I don't know, Gamora beat him handily and just kicked his ass, and then they're like, next time we see him, he's gonna be the big bad. It's like, I saw a random chick we just met whip his ass with no superpowers. Why am I worried about the Avengers and the Guardians together taking him on?
Now let's flash back. What happened at the first thing you see in Infinity War? Thanos beats the ever-loving shit out of Hulk.
One of the strongest fighters, if not the strongest fighter, in a few minutes they cement him as a massive threat.
Because so much so that Hulk retreats into Bruce Banner. He retreats and won't come back out. Then we got gypped by not getting that reconciliation. And again, that's one of my criticisms. I like Endgame. People hate it. I do like Endgame, but that's one of my criticisms. I don't like Professor Hulk. I wanted real Hulk.
Professor Hulk, I think, would have been okay if we'd seen the arc.
The thing. Here's how I like the end of Professor Hulk. Dre, you've read the Onslaught arc.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I spent that summer as a kid reading it because that was it was a fun thing. I'd go to Walmart or I'd go to someplace else and they'd have actual racks. And while my mom was off doing shit, I would read what was going on with the Onslaught arc. Yeah, I was a kid. I wasn't gonna buy it. I know it's wrong. I just stood there reading it, but who was gonna stop me? It's Walmart. Like I give a shit. Anyway, so I spent that summer reading the Onslaught arc, and the final battle with Onslaught, he's fully evolved. He's ditched Professor X as his host. He's ditched all this stuff. It's full on armor body. He's got Franklin Richards on the inside. He's using him as a battery essentially.
Yeah.
And they can't beat him. What is the choice? Bruce, as Professor Hulk says, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to end this. Says bye to Betty. And then he just turns it off. And he just goes from Professor Hulk to Hulk. And it's just this beautiful evolution, frame to frame to frame of when I get angry, I have to smash. And he starts to Hulk out there. And when Hulk get angry, Hulk smash. And then he just obliterates Onslaught. He just literally rips him, beats him to nothing, rips off the armor. They pull out Frank Richards. But that's what I wanted to see in Endgame. I wanted to see Professor Hulk go, okay, we're not going to win this unless I switch off Bruce and go full Rage Monster.
That would have been awesome.
That would
Well, that would be really cool, Adam. But
Yeah.
we can't have cool things.
No, we can't. No, we can't.
So
We can't.
stop enjoying fun stuff. Quit it.
Listen, I got plenty of fun stuff I can enjoy, but I do also enjoy ripping on the trash. And Disney Star Wars is giving me a very full plate. It's a full plate for the next couple of years. The stands want to say, we're going to eat well. No, I'm going to eat well. This channel's going to eat well. You're all going to eat well because you're going to watch me rip this shit apart. We started the week. We knew Echo was coming, but we started the week with this. Monday. We got this. This is Mandalorian and Grogu, the movie. Jed, they have to have the actual numbers at Disney Lucasfilm, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And there's a reason why they don't release them. They did when they were incredible.
But they have to know this isn't landing with widespread audiences. They have to know this isn't working. Why give Jon Favreau this movie? Nobody wants this. And you found out a couple days later. It says right here. Let me zoom in for you guys. To wait till we're here, so I don't know how much to zoom in. Read it to you. What happens with season 4 is now unclear. That's right. We don't know. Right now, it looks like this is season 4, or if this is successful, they might get a season 4 of Mandalorian. So what happens with season 4 is, excuse me, that came out of nowhere. It was unclear. It's definitely not a given. If the movie's success, it could be the next phase of Mando storytelling, becoming movie sequels, box office, and fan reaction determine that. So sources say Filoni's own movie is still on track at this point, although it is due to come after season 2 of Ahsoka, whenever that will be. Well, it is going to be. It's going to be probably next year. The good news here is that the movie fans, at least, blah, blah, blah. No, Favreau is not only directing feature, but according to sources, he's also writing script for Filoni. So this is another Jon Favreau Filoni production. I ask again, don't they have the numbers?
Oh, they know this
Real
is going to
numbers.
be a disaster, but I think there is one saving grace to this film that'll improve the quality over its predecessors by a small margin. A lot of people have noticed that the first 2-3 seasons of The Mandalorian were written as films and then just padded to hell and back. So we can get rid of the padding. Get rid of the padding for the film. It's a little bit of a saving grace.
But is it, Jed, though? Is it? Because let's look at this right now.
It's less time that you're torturing yourself.
It would be an hour and a half, maybe. I don't know, because that's what these episodes were, 30 minutes each. If they put 3 episodes, because aren't those the actual core episodes every season? 3, maybe 4 episodes?
Yeah, core ones. I mean, I haven't watched Disney Star Wars since Mandalorian season 2, but yeah, at that point.
Yeah, but so these stories are kind of lame if they're movies. And here's the thing. What was the trick of the sequel trilogy? Nostalgia baiting. Member berries. Remember this, remember that. South Park created the whole member berry theme. That was South Park created the member berry theme based off Force Awakens, and it got even worse with Last Jedi and Soy Walker. If you're making, and let's go through all of them now. If you're making Mandalorian and Grogu, you're getting James Crybaby Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie. You're getting Filoni-verse Ahsoka. Please, if there's somebody listening, make it call it Heir to the Empire. I swear, if you do that, that would maybe be my first 100,000 view video if you did that, because that's my ballpark. That would be the perfect thing ever for me. Filoni's Heir to the Empire and the Raid New Jedi Order movie. What are all these things missing that would work for
Star Wars?
Oh, yes. Star Wars. Not just Star Wars characters. None of these movies have real Star Wars characters. I'm sorry. Ahsoka
doesn't count.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I was going to let you do that as the old school Ahsoka fan here. I was going to let you say that. There, I could say now. Ahsoka doesn't count. Boba Fett. It's not Boba Fett. He's Boba Fett.
No.
He's Boba Fett.
This is in no way the same Boba Fett that we're familiar with.
Ariel, I am going to complain all I want. Anyway.
Be sarcastic.
I know. Anyway, hey, if I'm not complaining about Star Trek, she has to yell at me about something. If I'm not playing Star Trek Infinity, she's got to yell at me about something right now. But you've got Boba Fett doesn't count. The cast from Rebels.
Dre, they really don't count.
You can admit that they don't count. They don't count. No. Nobody cares about Mother Hera. Nobody cares about R2-D2 Tryhard Chopper. Nobody cares about Ezra Tryhard Bridger. And that's it. So
I can see one Star Wars character.
Oh, okay. What?
Leia. I mean, not Leia. That's not even who I'm going to be talking about. Rey might have a Force Ghost mentor. There's a few people who'd be willing to come back.
No, that's not how Force Ghosts work. I'm sorry, Ryan Johnson doesn't get to rewrite the rules.
So, well, I mean, in that universe, in their warped history, those are the rules. So, Mark Hamill coming back to train?
That's not Luke Skywalker. That's Jake Skywalker.
Jake Skywalker is somebody else. I mean, I don't know what Disney has on Samuel L. Jackson, but they got something on him that keeps him coming back to Marvel. So why not bring Mace Windu back as her Force Ghost?
Oh God.
Or Yoda. They can bring out that puppet.
Imagine if they made Mace Windu survive, because people have been trying to pretend that somehow Mace Windu survived getting thrown out the office for 20 years now. And no, I'm sorry. Mace Windu did not survive. Mace Windu died. And it's a shame that he went out like that. But that's why it's a powerful moment that Anakin... Well, I know in the novelization they had an actual duel, but in the movie he basically sucker punches him. And Palpatine was playing. He was playing possum right there. He was perfectly fine because he felt Anakin coming, and he wanted to put on a show. You know why you got to make it dirty?
I didn't say anything. You said it.
Yeah, but you made it dirty.
I just said, "Whoa."
Yeah, you made it filthy.
Yeah, filthy. Made it filthy. Hang on, I think I got one here. This is how I feel right now. Where is it?
Yeah, you said it. I didn't say anything. I just
filthy.
Whoa,
disgusting, nasty. Anyway,
know something like that exists on Tumblr.
Oh no, that's disgusting. That's filth. Anywho, but listen, we had a quick tangent there. We're talking about real Star Wars characters, which gets us excited, allows us to make fun little jokes, have some good time with this. That's what's missing from all the Disney Star Wars shit here. Mandalorian Grogu, Rey New Jedi Order, Filoni movie, Dawn of the Jedi, James Crybaby Mangold. What are these lacking? There's no Star Wars characters of note in anything remotely.
There might be zombie CGI Luke in one of the Mandoverse movies.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Hey, listen, I was I am proud to say that just like Ryan Kinnell, when Luke showed up at the end of Mando season 2, I was a cold-hearted son of a bitch. I started going, I feel nothing.
So you didn't cry?
No, I did not cry. My man card is intact. I did not hand him my man card. Hey, listen, I shed man tears over shit when I watch something emotional. That didn't move me because I know who Grandmaster Luke Skywalker is. I've had Grandmaster Luke Skywalker as a character in my life for 30 years. I didn't need CGI zombie Luke to come in there and screw everybody over with member berries. I didn't need that. But there's the thing. These movies are destined to fail. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. I don't think any one of these movies breaks $300 million globally at the end.
Wait, okay, so as in gross or
Gross.
just
gross? I'm going to say it right now. Because think about this.
okay?
Think about this. The normies aren't showing up to watch it on Disney Plus.
That's true.
Do you think they're going to show up to watch a movie where you have to go to Disney Plus to do your homework?
Yeah, out of those, I think the only one that has a shot of getting close is James Mangold's prequel, but that's still James Mangold after Indiana Jones. With Indiana Jones, he couldn't break even, so that would be the only one that I say has even a remote chance. It's still going to be a failure, still going to be a flop.
That's the thing. I mean, let me switch stuff for a second. I want to switch to the tweet here. There are people who think. Let me see if I can find it. I have a bunch of these. Well, there are people who think that these idiots are iconic. They think that Mando and Grogu are iconic.
We should just send him to that landfill where all those Baby Yoda toys are rotting.
Oh God, not the landfill.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's the only thing you need to look at
There
that
it is.
says
Got it.
Grogu is not enough to sell an
It's
entire
not,
film.
and that's true. It's not.
It was
Grogu-
cute for 5 minutes.
Yep, it was Grogu drug in those ladies. It drug in the ladies. Like, look, it's cute.
Cute baby.
Yeah. I have not met one dude that's a fan of Grogu. Not one. I've never met one. Women.
All the women, and they it's the same tone. Every time they see it, it's always cute baby. Somehow they all have the same exact tone when they see it and hear it. They do that. Every one of them. It's what is it? Some sort of genetic link? Some estrogen
It might
in the
be.
air?
That's their uterus talking.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's the fact that it looks like a baby. It turns on the womb. So I think that's what the whole deal is.
But
that's the only thing
right.
that makes any sense to me.
Baby Yoda Grogu, he was a gimmick. A gimmick they weren't even ready for. They had no merch for 6 months. Only little children and women are interested in Grogu. And the little kids, they don't know any better. So I'm not going to criticize little kids. But for this idiot here who creates a whole channel for Mandoverse to say the fact that Grogu and Mando are iconic enough characters to have their very own movie makes me want to cry. First of all, why are you crying?
No, at least he didn't say vomit.
No, somebody else probably did somewhere, I'm sure.
That was me.
No.
Vomit in excitement, Trey.
That's because you're sick. These people get excited and they vomit.
Oh, God.
That's something that Adam saw. Someone's like, "Oh, I've been throwing up all night. I just love this so much."
That was during the Ahsoka thing. They were talking about vomiting and crying, and we're thinking
when
that's
was vomiting a good thing?
I don't know. It's
Adam,
horrible.
are we too old? Is that it? Is it time for us to go?
No, we're normal. That's what it is. We're normal nerds. We're normal fans. These are weirdos, and these are weirdos who, as I said on Wednesday during that 20, they've got delusions of grandeur. This is a delusion, thinking that Din Djarin and Grogu are iconic. Din Djarin looks like any other goddamn Mando with his helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
There's only one iconic Mandalorian, and that's Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Real Boba Fett.
Correct.
Because who has good stories in actual Star Wars. These guys are not iconic, but this is the same person. This is the tweet from the same guy that preempted this one. We've won so hard. Ahsoka season 2, Mando season 4, and Mando movie plus Dave's movie 2. Mandoverse for the win. You guys can read, at least at a second grade level, correct?
No.
No? Okay. You could write at a second grade level. I know that.
Yes, I can write it, but I can't read at a second grade level.
But
it makes editing a bitch.
What is missing from this statement?
How these movies will bomb? Is that the part?
No. There. What is missing from this statement? Do you guys realize what's missing here?
Hold on, give me a second. I went to elementary school. I have a chance. You want to go hard. There's missing a comma after hard.
No.
Yeah, are you talking grammar?
I'm not talking punctuation.
Okay.
What element? Let me rephrase. What element is missing from this statement? What element? Give you guys a second here. Don't look at the chat. The chat got it. Don't look at the chat.
Okay.
Why did you bring up the whole "can you guys read" thing? That made us think we're looking for spelling, punctuation, grammar, and you're just like looking for Star Wars.
Yes, thank you. Jay Fraser got it. Star Wars is missing from this.
You made me think.
Hey, listen, you should have seen what we did to Dermy on Friday. Okay, at the end of the show, we changed his name to Mrs. Buck Angel. And we had him walking into this whole trap, and he didn't read his own screen. So for about 10 minutes, we kept running this gag, and he just didn't read his screen. And we had him going like this. What's going on? It was great. It was fun. But anyway, that's what's missing from this statement. Star Wars. This is a pure Disney Star Wars fan who only cares about Mandoverse and Filoniverse. That's what they're excited for. They're not excited for a Star Wars project. They're excited for a Mandoverse project.
That's correct. Because Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, is dead, Adam.
Yes.
And
yes.
Even at this point, the Disney Star Wars fandom is beginning to fracture. And that's the kicker. They're actually beginning to fracture now.
Oh, yes,
now
they
there's
are.
going to be Mando's fans versus
Ahsoka fans.
fans.
Ahsoka or Wolf Ren. Because they have to have their characters be gay together.
It's deep. It's falling apart. I mean, I'm glad to see it's falling apart because now that they're beginning to fracture, now they'll just burn more money. So it's a glorious thing.
But the glorious thing, you bring it up. Let's now look at this. So these guys think this is a win. I'm gonna ask you right now: is the announcement of Grogu and Mandalorian, the announcement of Ahsoka season 2, the announcement of Star Wars What If?
Oh, that can't be real, right?
It's reportedly in the works. It's a rumor.
There's
all Disney Star Wars is What If.
Well, there's that, but they already have a Disney Star Wars What If. Did you guys see the Lego Christmas special from a couple years back?
I mean the one where they made him when they made Finn and Isaac.
Well, that was in the game. That was in the game, I thought. But in the episode that they made, I don't think they did in the episode itself. They did in the game, but in the Lego special episode, Rey time travels around with a magic, I think, dagger, and meets like Obi-Wan young, Qui-Gon Jinn, visits all the important moments of the series, kidnaps Obi-Wan and Anakin from Mustafar, and it's just wild.
But they got all this going on.
She beats Darth Vader in a fight, I think. It's been 3 years since then. So I'm not sure.
Let's understand this though. Is any of this a win?
No.
Any of these? No. I'm going to bring it back to what I said a minute ago. To back to my previous point before we got a little sidetracked. Grogu Mandalorian. How does that make any money? Because if you have idiots like this, let me switch it again. Let me bring up this because this is a favorite asshole of mine. In this guy's a complete.
You have favorites?
Well, I have favorites I like to rip on. Because they make it easy and they prove that they're goddamn tourists. This guy right here, you guys might have seen this guy. This guy's an ideologue. He pops up in a lot of different things, and he's a freaking tourist. Grogu Mandalorian. This guy thinks it could be made for $75 million, and then it would make $500 million.
Whoa. $75 million budget.
No.
Not unless they hire Gina in it and bring her back.
Oh, we're
No one's
going
gonna
to
watch
talk
it.
about Gina. Keep your powder dry. Gina is a part of this conversation. We're going to get
No,
to that.
hold, Adam, pause for a hot second. This show says, bro, make the budget like $75 million.
Look at his profile pic. This is who we're dealing with here. Trans rights matters.
The seasons of Mandalorian cost more than that, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, Mandalorian seasons cost between $150 and $200 million.
Yep.
This fool make the budget. Does he not know how money works?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know how taxes work. He doesn't know how paying everything works. Doesn't know how shooting works. Doesn't know how special effects works. And this
the
is
equation,
a Disney Star
I promise
Wars
you,
movie.
it will rake in at least $500 million. That doesn't equate. Who is this colored? What is he talking about?
This guy is an ideologue. He's a tourist. This guy, he is a virtue signaling piece of shit. You can find him in almost every one of our fandoms as a tourist with a point to make, centering around ideology. This guy's a joke.
So
but to think that
75. Okay, no, screw it. Let's do it. Let's do it now, Adam. Let's do it now. Scratch it. Budgets. Let's just go. Let's go.
Oh, I said the budget is going to be the minimum budget will be $200 million. That's the minimum.
Yeah.
But this is Disney. They're not going to have a come to Jesus moment anytime soon.
Oh no.
Even if Nelson Peltz wins his proxy war this year, if and when it happens, one board seat, maybe two, is not going to fix the budgetary problems that these movies all suffer from. This movie in the end will cost upwards of $250 to $300 million when you add in the movie production and then the marketing.
Yes. So I'm thinking what will be reported budget. I'm going with reported budget. And I'm going to say reported budget is going to be $225 million. I think it's going to be reported budget.
In the end, I think they're going to have to report 275 in the end.
Ooh.
I think they're going to have to report 275. At least 250. I think it's going to come out 275 just because they have no control over this shit. So this movie will need probably 500 to 800 to break even. And I say there's not enough pull out there for this movie to make $300 million. There's not enough pull out there for the Dave Filoni movie to make $300 million. There's not enough pull out there for the James Mangold movie to make $300 million. There's definitely not enough pull out there for the Rey movie to make $300 million.
Oh my.
The Rey movie might make less than the Marvels.
That's my point. These characters that are not Star Wars have all overstayed their welcome.
Oh, yeah.
They've all overstayed their welcome, and nobody's going to show up. These people here are doing this. These are not the fans. These are the stands. They do not represent the needle moving. They do not represent anybody that cares. And that's why I'm saying these movies will not make money. And I think, all right, let's go down to this. One of the conversations here in the fellowship in our sphere is these are all just announced. And one of the jokes, one of the gags we have is this has been announced, that has been announced, blah, blah, blah. Do you, out of these movies, these announcements happens here this week, what do you think actually happens? I think you don't announce Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni working on Mando Grogu without happening. I think it's already done. I think they're going to take what he already wrote, he being Favreau, wrote before the strike, and they're going to make that the movie. I think this movie happens.
I think without question, two of these films will happen. The Mando movie will happen, and the Rey movie will happen. I believe both these movies will actually happen. I think whatever the random Dave Filoni nonsense, I don't think that's.
So they announced Ahsoka season 2. I think Ahsoka season 2 happens. I think Ahsoka season 2 happens because that's TV show. It's easier for them to pull that off.
Including the TV show. So Ahsoka season 2, I think is going to happen. That's going to be fine.
Yeah, and they're going to make that. They're going to make that as flamingly gay as possible because those weirdos who want Sabine and Shin to scissor me timbers all day long, they're the only ones left. Besides us who are here to mock it.
Oh yeah,
They're the
without
only ones.
question.
So Dave
that
Filoni will
stuff's gonna happen.
pander to them hard.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's
So-
just going to be just a scissor fest for about 4
Yes.
consecutive episodes. Yeah, without question.
yeah,
So yeah, so I think Ahsoka season 2 happens. I think the Mando movie will happen. I think the Rey movie is going to happen. I don't think it's going to be a Mando season 4. That's my opinion. I don't think it's going to be a Mando season 4. I think this will be the Mando season 4
Yeah,
film.
this is why.
I think
But
that
it's going
will
to
be
bomb
it.
so hard, it's going to end the Mandoverse.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's gonna be the end of all this mess.
Yeah.
And I don't and in my personal opinion, I don't think there's gonna be I don't know if it's a working title. I'm just throwing it out there based on what it's supposed to be. The Heir to the Empire film thing.
Filoni film, the Filoni movie.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think these movies are gonna bomb so hard you'll swear it's Hiroshima, and it's I don't think there's gonna be anything left.
Yeah.
I know a way that the Heir to the Empire might make some money. You guys mentioned that it's going to be a scissor fest, right?
No. That's Ahsoka season 2. It's gonna be
okay. Well, that one too. Yeah, Ahsoka season 2. That'll be the most successful thing they do if they make that one rated R or maybe NC-17. They'll get a certain audience there.
Yeah,
make some
but
money
I'm
on
sorry. The chick who plays Sabine looks like a 12-year-old boy. I'm not.
I don't want to see her.
There's enough people out there who are just.
There's some freaks.
Yeah, no, that will get an audience if they did that.
All right,
there'd be freaks.
And the Rey movie's gonna happen.
Yeah,
with Charmin Obaid-Chinoy and everything that's gone on, and that's where I want to go to the next part of this. That's gonna happen. There's no avoiding that. They are locked in, especially when you have the defense going on right now. There's a narrative running around out there on X Twitter that women are not welcome in Star Wars.
This is a great pause you took. It's like, just fill in the blank that women exist.
This is what's going on. One of my there's a co-worker. Let me try that again. One of my co-workers at work is a woman. She was there when the OG Star Wars trilogy came out originally. She was there on opening night for A New Hope and the other two as well. So I called BS on that immediately.
Well, that's the thing. That's why this is something else I've been latching onto this week. This is how they're trying to pivot around Chins and our pushback and our reporting on her past dialogue, her past rhetoric. They're trying to say, oh, it's out of context, is that it's out of context for this, but it's still a pattern of behavior, which means she doesn't have the ability to write a Star Wars movie, direct a Star Wars movie, or let alone any big budget thing. But they've tried to pivot to that, saying this old retarded argument that we, the original Star Wars fans, the toxic ones, these horrible toxic nerds, we don't like women in our franchise. We don't like women in our fandom. And you have it running around with this asshole, this guy's, I believe he's one of the guys that actually works on Disney Star Wars. Daniel Jose Soter, I think his full name is. This guy, I think, actually works on it. Him. Well, he's a he, him. Either way, this guy's one of the chief shills out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
But here it is. Women are allowed to like Star Wars as well. Star Wars is for everyone. I have been inundated in my timeline with this. Star Wars is for everyone. Women belong in it. Where are this at? Women were always welcome in Star Wars. I've hung out and enjoyed many of Star Wars content throughout the decades with plenty of girls. This is fake news, false narrative. They want to try and shift it and tell us that they're the accepting ones and we're the toxic ones. And I call bullshit. Like Dragonlane just said, it's bullshit. We always have been welcome to girl nerds or girl normies if they're interested. Hell, you find a chick who likes Star Wars and she likes you and you two have the hots for each other, you lock her down.
Yeah. Men actually find it attractive when women are into their franchises.
Yeah. If you find a lady that is into your nerd shit and appreciate it and can then forgive you when you spend a lot of time with your nerd shit because she understands it, you put a ring on that finger.
Mm-hmm.
You bring her home to meet mom and dad. You buy her presents. You cook her dinner. You show her a good time. That's what you
Exactly,
do.
and that's how you know that these idiots have no idea what they're talking about. Those of us that grew up with these franchises were ostracized because we enjoyed them. You mean to tell me if there was women coming up to me left and right saying, "Oh my God, I was reading the EU," and I was like, "Wait, what? You were doing what?
Hold
Excuse
on.
me,
Hold
ma'am.
on.
I'm Andre. How are
Yeah.
you?"
Hi.
That's how that would work. The idea that men have been gatekeeping this away from women is absurd. This is a boy brand, yes, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
boy brand that women have also enjoyed for many years. Just like Disney has been historically a girl brand that men have enjoyed for many
Yeah.
years. It's the same thing, but
Yeah.
the idea that we're gonna let women in it, like, bruh, women always been here and women have always been down.
Yeah.
Women that have been fans of Star Wars are not these ideologue weirdos that are coming out of the woodwork saying, "I was there since day one." Ma'am, I know you, and I know you were down at the
It's
Dagon Mall
ma'am.
selling you snatch for $5. Okay, so you weren't with me watching stuff. Okay, I just like these people are so bent on just nonsense and foolishness and confusion that it's just like, oh, there's women, bruh. There's always been women. Like, stop.
Yeah.
And Ariel understands what nerd sex would be.
Yes.
I see. I approve of this. This sounds like a good time.
Oh, I'm going.
all of that is acceptable.
When I get married, I'm going to pay an exorbitant amount of money to get a magician to help me disappear in a TARDIS as, like, just married. You know how people like
That's
say
awesome.
just married to drive away in a car? I'm going to get a magician to somehow make that work with the TARDIS disappearing.
I mean, let's be honest. Every man of a certain era and in a certain age, certain point, Leia in the gold bikini, that's tattooed on our hormones. It never goes
On
away.
our hormone.
It
It's
is.
tattooed on our hormones. It never goes away. It's there.
Camera is steamed up.
It's what we've lusted for many a decade. It never stops. And if you have a lady who understands that, then it's great. But here's the thing: these twerps, these twinks, these weirdos, they don't understand that. Here is one of the worst stands you're gonna find. Now, this is just a screen cap because I got it from somebody else's response to him. This guy is a true stan. He is a shill. This dude tweets more than Dermy does. Okay, every hour on the hour, one bit of Disney Star Wars nonsense after another, pretending to love actual Star Wars, but in every, like a good stan, using it as a prop to push Disney Star Wars higher. Everything is the great and beautiful in this, and he pretends to say, "Let's all get along, let's have kumbaya, this and that." But then every once in a while, him and a couple others will lose it and say shit like this. Carrie Fisher would have hated every single grown man trying to tell women that this franchise wasn't for them. She also
Nobody said
quite
that.
literally,
Mhm.
no, we said that. Exactly. We said that. She quite also literally proved that Star Wars was just written back in 1977. Mind you, dude, this dude's younger than you are.
Really?
Yeah, he's like a couple years younger than you are. I only know that because he puts it all over the place when in his profile. It's in his
This dude is
profile.
14
Well,
talking his nonsense.
he tweets like a 12-year-old girl. And apparently he married some fat chick with a horseshoe in her nose. And he made sure everybody knew it so that he could say, "Look, I know an actual girl. We're married. I'm married." And I just thought, well, she's fat. I guess good job. All right.
It's always so funny. These people who accuse us of being incels definitely behave more like that, or more,
Yeah.
Yeah. defensive about women in their lives.
The thing is, the people who like to really mess with this jerk who does all this stuff just for engagement, they kept saying your girlfriend, your wife, your fiance, she's not real. You made her up. So he just kept putting more and more pictures out there. He's a child. He doesn't understand that the internet is fucking with him for its own amusement. Now, I've been trying to get blocked by this joker for over a year, and I still haven't gotten blocked. Some dude got blocked by him about a month ago, and I said, "Teach me, Sensei," because I want to know, because I'm sick and tired of him showing up, and I'm not going to mute or block him. I want to earn that block. I want him to be so angry with something I've said that he has to remove me from his social media existence. But then he says here, if someone gatekeeps a franchise so bad that they prevent others from enjoying and appreciating it as well, then they are also not real fans. These people need to grow up and accept that there are more fans of something than just themselves.
What is he talking about?
He's talking about this false narrative that we don't want women in Star Wars.
No one ever in history has said these words. No one, 0 people have said, I don't want women in Star Wars. No one.
No. Yeah.
No one.
And
ever.
He's reacting to the fact that I do this all the time. I call every Disney Star Wars fan. I say they're not real fans. That's my way of trying to get under their skin. Because let's remember, what is my purpose on X Twitter? It's to be a shit post. It's to be a troll. Aside from promoting our stuff and our streams and our videos, I'm there to be a shit poster and a troll. I'm not there. That's why if one of them maybe reply to me, I never look at it, because I don't even look at my notifications. I don't. I just let it go. I fire one off out there and I let it fly and I don't look back. Once in a while, only things I check is when I make fun of Dermy. I want to see who agrees with me when I make fun of Dermy, because that's the game. That's what we do. But this guy, he isn't a real fan. You just have to go look the way everything is beautiful and glorious and bold with the Disney Star Wars, and then, oh, I like the original trilogy too, but this is so much better at Disney Star Wars. How many? If I got $1 for every time he said The Rise of Skywalker is the greatest Star Wars movie ever, I would have more money than I do now. But this is what they do, though. They pretend to want us to leave them alone, but then they're going to latch on to fake news like this and go full hypocrisy attack mode, which is why whenever somebody comes to my comments, and Jed, Dre, I know you guys have seen this on yours, why are you being toxic? Why are you saying like this and that? My response is, you started it first. I'm just finishing it. I'm not going to play by, Queensberry rules here. I'm not going to be proper. I'm not going to play by some sort of engagement where I have to maintain some sort of moral high ground. No, I'm getting into the shit and the muck, and I'm going to throw it in your face. And then I'm going to kick you in the nuts, make you bite the curb, and head stomp your ass. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm fighting for this. I'm fighting for what's left of my franchise here. I'm fighting to protect George Lucas's Galaxy Far, Far Away, so future generations will know the difference. That there are 6 Star Wars movies. There are dozens and dozens of real books out there that expand the universe. And then there's Disney Star Wars, which is a big flaming pile of shit. And none of it, I'm sorry, none of it is legitimate. You can't cherry pick. You can't say this was here, this was here, this was there. There's real Star Wars. There's Disney Star Wars. Pick one. That's it. And these guys,
I could not agree more.
Yeah. So
makes perfect sense.
And not only that, we women getting into nerd stuff isn't really something that not many women are usually into. And that's another thing. But you don't just go ahead and slap a bunch of women and expect women to go and see Star Wars or the MCU just because there's a bunch of women slapped on the poster. It has to be good. No. You have to have likable characters. And that's why sometimes in the very rare occasions which sometimes I might have a piece with my mom, we struggle trying to find something to watch because I'm into nerdy action adventure stuff, whereas she's into reality TV shows and is like, no, I don't want to watch Big Brother, thank you very much.
Boy. Not Big Brother.
Here's the thing, though. Just to remind everybody of how much we love ladies in Star Wars. Even though I just said Disney Star Wars isn't real, there was one great thing that did come out of Disney Star Wars. That's Gina Carano. We all love Gina. Remember, I have been on the Gina bandwagon since 2012 when I saw her in American Gladiators, and I thought, damn, she's hot. So I've been simping for Gina long before any of y'all were. All right, get behind me. Point is, Gina.
I barely remember 2012, so yeah, you beat me there.
Yeah, shut up. Anyway, I was happy to see that Gina was getting work. I wasn't happy that it was Disney Star Wars. I was even less happy when all that shit went down and we all agreed Gina did nothing wrong. And it has done nothing but solidify her as an icon in the Fellowship, in our sphere. And she interacts with our sphere. She's friends with people in our sphere. And that's just a cool-ass thing. And, well, Jed, you know a guy who happens to work a lot with Gina, don't you?
I know a individual who works with her quite closely, and a lot of people who know her personally, and I'm actually going to meet her in a couple weeks.
Yep, you're going to meet her at MegaCon. And that's the thing. So we know for a fact, because we have on the ground reporting through Geeks and Gamers, that Gina is quite successful at conventions, correct?
Oh yeah, her lines dwarf most other people's. Like, it's kind of sad how many classic celebrities don't get as good of interaction as she does.
And when she has her interactions at a convention, does anything untoward happen?
Not that I've ever heard of. In fact, it's more positive, more fan love, more positivity in those lines from what I understand.
No danger situations. Nobody feels threatened.
Well, it's not a screening of Frozen 2, so yeah, everyone's okay.
Yeah. So then this happened on Friday night, and I thought, I wasn't going to waste it on Ballbusters, which is why I didn't bring it up then. I was going to save it for today. Yeah, fuck you, Derby. I saw this, and everybody saw it that night, and it has since been talked about quite prominently by high-level individuals in the Fellowship. But we got this from Global BC. Global, that's a Canadian. Legatus, you have to answer for your country right now. A recent addition to Vancouver Fan Expo's guest list is raising eyebrows. Some fans say inviting Gina Carano could create an unsafe environment at the convention following her controversial social media posts. Wow.
Well, it does make sense because these people, they are threatened by anyone who doesn't agree with them entirely, and they equate disagreement and negative words as actual violence. So by their warped, insane definition, yes, it will be an unsafe environment. But for normal people who just like, hey, it's Gina Carano, that's awesome, it's going to be just like the convention would be otherwise.
Can you sign my merch? Can you take a picture with me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is.
I didn't even know that was how the first Deadpool film. And when she popped up on The Mandalorian, I'm thinking, this lady looks vaguely familiar. And I watched the first Deadpool film again. Hang on a minute. Oh, that's where she was from. Brain going at 3 miles an hour.
Of course, the one time the Disney Star Wars succeeds in making a great, strong female independent character, they screw it up.
Yeah, they screwed up because guess what? She happened to just not sign on to your agenda. She actually has a mind of her own. She's not part of the hive mind, and she's a free thinker, and you can't have that. And she also gets along with the real fans.
Mm-hmm.
And she was positively interacting with real fans. You can't have that. Can't have that.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
What does now, because I'm not asking this to be a schmuck. I just really don't know. What does unsafe environment mean anymore?
I don't know.
Exactly.
When we were growing up, unsafe environment means somebody like bring a gun or somebody that might do something to hurt the public. So what does that mean anymore?
You hurt my fifis.
Someone you disagree with might be within 100-mile radius of you. That's unsafe.
Ridiculous. Okay, so the fact that you're showing up, these soy milk individuals are butthurt that their feelings are hurt retrospectively.
Not even that. They're afraid because somebody has a different ideological belief system than them.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they're going to say that they think there's going to be mass shootings and mass violence. So they think disagreement means you're going to Minecraft us all.
Yeah.
That is what they're thinking is going to happen because they disagree.
Listen, I have disagreements all the time with all y'all. We have nerd fights all the time, and then it's over. No. The only person that's ever going to lose something is the day I see Dermy, and I'm going to have to beat his fat ass. It's going to happen. Listen. People are going to get to fry him. They're going to tase his fat ass and kick him in the nuts at the next Vegas meetup. It's already been paid and bought for. I believe Cash Kester, the smoking man, is going to be tasing him in the ass. I think that's going to happen.
I need to look into this and make sure I have arrangements to be there.
Yeah. It was a whole thing, and I think I forget who's going to kick him in the nuts. Oh no, I'm sorry, not in the, well. Gal might kick him in the nuts just on principle at this point. He's going to get pepper sprayed in the face too.
Ooh.
Oh God, I've been there. Oh, that's not great.
He's going. Dermy's going to get pepper sprayed. But you see, the violence we visit upon us. Dermy actually people paid money for that. That's the thing. The money was exchanging hands. Has exchanged hands. He got the super chats. He's already spent the money on something. Who knows? But that's us joking around. And there's no violence around Gina Carano. As Jed pointed out, it's nothing but love around her. People just want to interact with her and talk with her and have her sign their merch and maybe get a hug. That's what they want.
Sign my.
I'm trying to be not too graphic.
All
here.
taco meat. Let's just get it done. Just get it on.
Hey, listen. I'm working to keep my simp under control here. Okay, come on.
Yeah, of course. But I was a fan of her back when she was a fighter.
MMA. Because you're into MMA.
I loved her when she did MMA.
Yeah.
Because I come from that background, so I'm like, oh, she's great and she's wonderful and I love her. And then when she transitioned into an actress, it was tremendous because for me, it's not something that I've ever seen in my lifetime to have a successful, legitimate in-ring competitor to actually as a female anyway, a female competitor to translate over into actually being an actress and somebody doing roles that I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
So like she, to say the least, she's a woman of the people is an understatement.
When she popped up in Deadpool, I was like, hey, I know her. Hey, it's Gina. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
we were robbed of her tit popping out, though.
Dude,
yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Fucking Colossus.
I really.
That made me laugh that did.
Anywho, but this is how ridiculous all of this is. The fact that a bunch of panty waist little soy boys and soy girls think that there's going to be violence. There's going to be unsafe environment at a convention because Gina Carano's going to be there. No, you're just afraid because it would prove your whole narrative wrong. That's what it boils down to. Her existence proves their narrative wrong. Not only that, the fact that she's a fun person, a nice person, but that the actual fans who want to interact with her are not raging lunatics. That we are organized, we're nice, we're calm, we're excited as nerds would be excited. We're not tearing shit down to cause a ruckus in her name. So I find this completely ridiculous, and it's sad, and it's stupid that we even have to talk about it all this time later. Nothing wrong with fans, and Gina Carano did nothing wrong. All right. Last topic of the day. We got just enough time to go through the last topic. First of all, hail and howdy, everybody that showed up here in the chat. Thank you for all being here. I've been trying to bring you guys up as we went through on the conversation, so I'd let you know that I did see you. So thank you all for being here. If you're having a good time, hit that like button. Subscribe to everybody's channels. This is 2024. This is gonna be a good year for us. Let's keep going. Let's make it heard. And I see Jade Hamilton just got here. Hello, young man. How you doing? You want to watch
yet?
This? I guess I don't know. I don't think they threw him out. I think he's still on break. If you want to watch our Star Wars discussion, wind it back. We are now past it. Anyway, but we got this too. This made me raise my eyebrows this week. Firings happened in Hollywood in a couple of areas that deservedly so in terms of the crap they put out. It started with this. Amazon is firing people at Prime Video, and it hurts me to say this, MGM Studios, because that still hurts me that Amazon owns MGM Studios. That hurts.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's
Are you ready for James Bond?
You mean Jane Bond? Yeah, no thanks. Not interested in that. But so they fired people at their studio, and Jed, this is my not surprised face. Because what happened at Amazon Prime in terms of genre storytelling?
Well, they attempted to get into the fantasy genre with Wheel of Prime and Amazon Rings of Prime, and both of which failed spectacularly. So that genre is not doing so well for them.
Yeah.
Their big budget films that they're releasing on there, haven't heard a whole lot of those. The only genre that Amazon is even partially succeeding in is in the like gritty crime type shows, military action thrillers like The Terminal List and Reacher.
That's because Jennifer Salke's pretty much kept her hands off that stuff.
Yeah, she doesn't care. So it's very much her that's influencing the worst decisions. Now that Reacher season 2's coming out and it's a big success from what I understand, just like the first one.
I've seen the first 3 episodes. I believe the finale's next week. Then I'm going to catch up on the remainder.
That's the big fear, though, is the better that Reacher does, the more likely it becomes that Jennifer Salke will insert herself into the production and ruin it as a result. So season 2 succeeding is great for the show in and of itself and for the fans and whatnot, but it's also terrible because that means Jennifer might be like, ooh, successful, let me ruin it.
Because you mentioned the 2 things that really were just abominations.
Mm-hmm.
Rings of Power it was a $1 billion boondoggle. Season 2, they haven't announced yet. I'm hoping it's this year. I want to bring you guys another round of This Is Mordor Country because we have a good time with that. But it was a disaster. It retained 37% of its starting audience. It was a complete failure, and it was ridiculed. Like we've never. It spawned a genre of meaning that is still going on to this day. Whenever something like this rears head, and at the same time, Wheel of Prime, waste of time. That was a complete abomination. Doesn't even deserve. It doesn't even describe how bad it is. Season 1 was a train wreck. Season 2 was unrecognizable for the content because Rafe Judkins, who happens to F Jennifer Salke, by the way, they F. They are a couple. They're married, I believe. They're married. Yeah.
You could have just said that.
Well, I wanted to emphasize.
But so what you're saying is you're not looking forward to the Rafe Judkins God of War Prime series?
Oh, well, my channel's looking forward to it. I bet the channel's looking forward to it too.
You can't skip the Greek era. I'm sorry. I love the Norse stuff. I adored the Norse games, but you need the basis. Valhalla proves that.
We're going to have a good time roasting that shit. We're going to have a very good time roasting that shit. But yeah, so Rafe Judkins and Jennifer Salke, who again, they dingle each other. They are the source. They are the problem with Rings of Power and Wheel of Time. They've lost so much money on this. They get to the point now where I'm not surprised people are getting fired. Problem is, they're not getting fired.
No, it's never the people responsible.
No. It's the same as with the writer's strike. Everybody who is going to lose their job from the writer's strike are not the real problem. The people in power, the people who control this shit, they're still there. Pulling strings, setting shit up, show running. The reason the reason Wheel of Time failed is because Rafe Judkins ignored Robert Jordan's books. It's a completed series. It's not like it's George R.R. Martin where they got to make shit up to finish it. No, it's finished. It's done. You had a roadmap from A to B, or A to Z. We'll say A to Z because it's a very, very long story. All you had to do was trim it down so that it fit on television for, let's say if you combined 2 books to a season, 7 seasons, maybe 8 or 9 if you want to give a couple books a full season on their own. It was all right there. He didn't have to work very hard. But no, what did he do? He chopped it up. He race swapped, he gender swapped, he threw out the material, and he just put it there to the point where now, as I predicted, yet I got yelled at by the stands, they're going to skip an entire book with Wheel of Time season 3. They're not even going to do book 3. They're going to go right to book 4 because they so much stuff that they've butchered storyline-wise, character-wise, they can't possibly tell book 3. They can't do it. The pieces have not been lined up. The characters are not there. And Rings of Power, well, that was fan fiction too. That was fan fiction as well. So it's no surprise that there's fallout from this. And there's no surprise at the same time that Pixar, Disney's firing people at Pixar. Jed, how many people did they fire last year? Not just Pixar, but across Disney.
Oh, God. I lost track when they were getting into the thousands.
Yeah, 7,000 was the last number I heard.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All these studios are, like Netflix did as well in the last couple of years, all these production companies that we've been saying repeatedly are failing, are showing signs of failing, because there's no way a logical person can say mass layoffs are a sign of a healthy business or a successful company. But they still do it. The army of stands are out there trying to justify this, just like when they justified, Captain Marvel 2 isn't a flop, it's a success. Those same people who've been arguing for every failure that these companies have made are arguing that this is a good sign because they want to reassign more money for the projects that matter. It's like, oh, well, the CGI was bad in Captain Marvel 2, so let's fire a bunch of people at Marvel, and then the next one will have good CGI. We'll use that money. Like, I've seen some insane coping, and so, like, with Pixar, they've been criticized for their animation in the last few movies being weak, flat, and pathetic. So I'm sure there's people who are like, yeah, it sucks for these people, but this is a sign of a good company. They're reinvesting their priorities and quality.
No, they've made one agenda-driven piece of shit after another for the past 2 years. Lightyear, this right here, Turning Red. All these things agenda, and the latest thing that came out, God, what was it? Shit, I just forgot it.
Strange World was last year. Wish.
Strange World, yeah. No, Wish is regular Disney. That's regular Disney.
Oh, was it?
Sorry. Yeah. But they've got Elemental. That was it.
That was it. They're so forgettable.
Well, I've been harping on it for a long time. I got too much shit going through my brain. Not trying to focus on. What threw me off was I went to try and get the name of Turning Red, and it pushed Elemental out of the order I wanted to say things. So that's why I forgot it. But they one flop after another. All of them agenda driven. All of them, a lot of them, with the not so secret agenda just tied into it. And people are now being fired because they lost money. Pixar used to be a juggernaut when it came to making money. Toy Story, Cars, a host of other successful movies. Kids liked it. Those were all family friendly. None of this is family friendly. I mean, if I had a kid, I wouldn't take it to see this shit. I have I don't have nephews because I don't have any brothers sisters. I wouldn't have taken my young cousins to see this when I was still hanging out around them. I would have taken any children's up because this stuff is not for kids. It's so some them can pat themselves on the head and say, "Oh, look, I inserted my agenda into this, and now I feel great, and I'm going to pass along my crackpot ideas to some unwitting child who we've made sure doesn't have proper parental supervision while watching this garbage." So, as I said before, it's just a shame that the people getting fired are probably just the regular schmoes who were doing what they were told, not the current president or executives at Pixar who are responsible for this. It's just a shame because they're not here for fun and games anywhere. They're here for garbage. They're here for crap, and they've lost it. I mean, Universal and Illumination, they've taken over. They beat Pixar this year. They beat them.
Yeah.
Not by a lot, but they did. And that would have been unheard of a decade ago.
Yeah.
I mean, who would think that the company that puts out Toy Story, the company that puts out Cars, gets beaten by the guy who makes, by the company that makes Despicable Me?
Well, I mean, those make $1 billion.
Yeah.
Those have been
But-
$1 billion a couple
Well,
times.
people love those minions, dude. People love
Yeah.
those minions.
Well,
Little evil
even
minions.
when it comes to Universal, Paramount, and like the other studios besides Disney, is we can't say that they're really successes overall either. At least for the most part, they have a better chance. There's individual successes. I mean, even look back a few years ago, Paramount did good with Top Gun Maverick. Like each of them are lucky to get one massive success per year, which is more than Disney can say right now. But it's still not a
Yeah.
clear cut. Everyone else is winning. Most of them are losing still. Max is probably the best streaming service right now just because it's operating in brown break-even territory. Yes, as it was pointed out in the chat, Netflix had its most profitable year in gross. Profit is the wrong word for that. They had the biggest gross, but not the biggest net.
And Netflix will always survive because they were there 1st,
Mhm.
and they have the best infrastructure, and people will license shit there, and they will make their money off the license stuff. But as you said, Max is working because they have shit people actually want to watch. People
Their
wanna watch
classic
shows.
movie connection is
And
unrivaled.
the catalog they have from Warner Brothers and all that stuff will work. And also, Max is lined up to win next year. If they managed, I'm surprised we haven't heard anything in a while. I want to hear that Harry Potter reboot casting.
Yeah.
That's going to tell us a lot. If they nail the casting, if Hermione isn't race swapped, and that's the thing, that Harry's going to be Harry. They're going to they can't unginger the Weasleys. They can't do that.
They can still race swap them, but give them red hair. I mean, you saw Little Mermaid.
No, well, okay, I
Yeah.
can't see it, but
Nobody saw Little Mermaid.
not enough.
You saw
people
the
it.
trailer of Little Mermaid.
Not enough people saw it because it didn't make money. It didn't even break even. But it's still HBO. Well, HBO Masquerade.
HBO Max is still the same thing. They just dropped the HBO from the title, so it's still
Retarded.
HBO Max. Yes, I agree.
Masquerade just made a point we made a long time ago. That was a retarded move. Why do you drop the more recognizable acronym?
If you're gonna drop something,
Yeah.
drop the Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just call like HBO Live or something. Just anything.
HBO Plus.
HBO Plus, whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing Plus.
Yeah. Plus is the
They
hip.
dropped
Yeah.
HBO left the Max. What are you retarded? What are you,
But
who does that?
the HBO is lined up to win if they nail the Harry Potter casting, and we know that J.K. Rowling is deeply involved with the crafting of this show. It isn't like with the movies where they cut her out. No, she is written into the contract. She's not written to the DNA of the show. If they don't race swap Hermione, which is the most obvious thing that we know they want to do after that whole musical thing with the black chick who played her, then the show is at least set up to be a juggernaut of a success. Because if they nail a 90% book accurate telling of Harry Potter for 7 seasons, that's TV history. That's TV history. And
I just don't trust them.
Well, we don't trust them, but
Same here.
If they could, yeah.
I'm saying our what if? What if they did something right? What if they cast correctly? What if they stuck to the source lore core material of a franchise and just put it out there with as little changes as possible? Wow, that's gonna make you forget billionaire. You'll make J.K. Rowling a fucking trillionaire at this point when she does with that. I mean, that'll make the Potterheads lose their mind if they get book accurate TV. I know the movies are beloved, but if they nail the casting for a new generation and they nail a lot of the stuff in the story that the movie left out, it's a win. It's a mega win, and it makes Max the place to be for genre TV with House of the Dragon, Harry Potter, and whatever else, and whatever other Game of Thrones spin-off that George is going to put out besides finishing his book.
And it kills me to say it. It utterly hurts my soul to say it. Last of Us has been a success for them as well.
Yes, it has. Now, season 2.
Oh, you ready for Abby to be played by an actress who's the same size as Ellie?
Oh boy.
Hey, listen. They could have just committed to It's Ma'am. They should have just committed to having.
Oh yeah, they should have committed to. And I don't know if you saw Bella Ramsey just went through her workout routine in preparation.
I saw
She looks even skinnier.
Did you? Okay, Dermy actually played this on Ballbusters. Did you see the clip of Cuckman at the Golden Globes?
I heard about it.
Apparently, I don't have this ready because we're just talking about this off the top of our heads. So at the Golden Globes, we know how there's red carpet row, all the celebrities stand there, get their pictures taken. Cuckman was there, and when he's standing there posing, when Dermy brought up the video, I said, "What? What are we doing here? I don't hear anything." He said, "That's it. Nobody took any pictures of Cuckman. He's just standing there, and it's dead silence. Everybody's ignoring him. Who are you? We don't."
I heard about that one.
Yeah. So that was funny. And the thing is, Max will survive because of that. In the end, it's going to be Netflix, Amazon, because they have more money.
Yeah, they have a big backer. Yeah.
At Max, and I don't know what to make of Apple TV. I just don't. I mean,
that one's kind of
on Apple TV. Is there anything that
the Godzilla show that's not Godzilla?
Apple TV is doing better than people expect because
Yeah.
it is a big location to buy films. You can buy stuff on there, and so it's got a big platform for that. That's
like
helping.
Amazon, they have more money than God.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that definitely helped. The big ones that I think we're gonna see disappear relatively quickly are Paramount Plus, because we know that there's that merger going on.
Merger might happen. Yep.
That's gonna be a weird situation, and that can't last long. And Peacock actually has more original good stuff, from what I understand, than Apple, than even Amazon. Really,
But nobody watches it.
Peacock actually has good stuff.
Lost $2 billion last year.
Oh yeah, Peacock is not doing well.
No,
it's doing better than it would be.
And that's unfortunate because Peacock actually has good stuff on their platform, and like even their shows are good. Like not original. I mean, like okay, was it Twisted Metal? Twisted Metal was actually pretty good.
I heard people enjoyed that. Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's, I very much enjoyed.
I enjoyed it, and their whole thing about like films that are owned by Universal or whatever that like right after it's done in cinema, it goes straight to their streaming platforms. So you can see it. I think it's really good. I think
and they work with their parks a lot. Like if you buy a certain size of ticket in Universal, you get a free subscriction to Peacock.
Yeah, like a lot of good stuff is on Peacock. So for me, Peacock is my number 2.
I think they did have WWE stuff on
there.
there.
Peacock has WWE. Yes.
Yeah, because that was the new. So
if people could just hear about it, like they need a better marketing campaign, and then Peacock can compete with the best of them because it's free ads. Like it's got a lot of good stuff.
I wouldn't have called it calling it Peacock though. Was just again,
I don't know why they did that.
Every time I sign in, I call it the cock just because.
Oh wow! You know what? I think we'll just end on that. All right, but in all seriousness though, in the end, back to the main point of this, with these firings and these streaming services, I don't think anybody's learning the lessons of 2023.
Nah.
Because we're getting Wheel of Time Season 3. We're getting Rings of Power Season 2. We're getting Halo Season 2. We're getting all these... Netflix is rolling out a bunch of other stuff while we have question marks. We're going to... wait, no. Is it... Amazon's doing God of War... Wait, is it Netflix or Amazon that's doing God of War, Jed?
Amazon's
it's
Rafe Judkins.
Yeah, it's Rafe Judkins. Okay, yeah. So it would have to be Amazon. You're right. So they're rolling out a what's going to be a butchered God of War source material thing. They're rolling out Fallout. We're whinging in anticipation of Fallout next month. Next month, I can't wait for February. There's so much, but there's so much stuff going on that it's still going to be garbage. They didn't learn their lessons. They're just going to keep on going, and it's going to result in good people losing their jobs, and the people who deserve to lose their jobs not paying for the consequences of their agenda-driven bad decisions. And in the end, I think it'll be safe to say that all of us, at whatever level we do make it at, are going to make more money on all this garbage than they will. Even this piddly-ass channel will.
Unquestionable.
Yeah. All right, guys. With that, let's bring it to an end. It's been a fun one. Let's go around the horn, promote our stuff, and then I got to beam over to Engage. So, Jed, what you got coming up this week?
Well, I don't have any planned things coming up this week, either with videos or live streams. I'll try to make videos and live streams as I can, but you can find me on YouTube at Hollywood Scholar. I might make a video on, I don't know if you heard about this, Adam, but the trailer on YouTube for the 15th season of a classic Doctor Who coming out on Blu-ray was viewed significantly higher than Shootigatwa's initial teaser trailer was.
Go for it.
Surprise.
Go for it. Go for
And
it.
I don't know if we'll make a video on this either, but it's just hilarious. Have you guys seen the deleted scene from the Marvels that included a strap-in joke?
Yes, it's been talked to death, which is why I didn't bring it up today.
Oh, I hadn't heard about it till today.
Oh, really? Wow,
Yeah.
you must have been out of the loop.
Yeah, I haven't been able to watch
Strap on.
other people's streams, but yeah,
Strap on.
Miss
Strap
Marvel
on.
being
Strap on.
single.
Yeah, that was cringe.
Kamala's underage, people.
Yeah, it's bad. So all right, check out Jed Hollywood Scholar, and Jed will be joining me next week as always for Saturday Night Drive-In. I'll announce that movie in a second. Dre, what's going on this week?
So this week, we're gonna be talking about all the old Netflix Daredevil stuff is now officially canon. We're gonna be talking about that and all the implications that's gonna be going on all that great stuff. I will be on the Brutal Plan Comics YouTube channel for those that are new and want to check me out. There'll be a link in the description and all that other wonderful stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at TheBrute00. Just holler at me. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking and feeling. And in also more news, Trouble the River Within, my graphic novel. I'm going to announce it today. It says I'm very, very excited. We will be beginning physical fulfillment this week.
Yes.
Hell yes.
So we will be starting to ship out all of the physical graphic novels.
Wait, Dre, are you actually delivering your comic immediately?
Yes.
Yeah. So it didn't take you 2-3 years to get something out.
It did not. It did
Unlike
not.
some lol cows out there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Take notes. Take notes, folks.
Yeah,
Indies,
okay.
we can do better.
Yeah.
So this week we'll be starting physical fulfillment. So I'm very, very excited to announce that. That will be tremendous. What else? I think that's about it. Oh, wait, no, Adam, I'm sorry. I have some breaking news. I just bought the Onslaught collection on eBay.
Did I make you do that? That's what nerds do. Gets you excited to do that shit. Hell yes.
Yeah, I thought about. I was
yeah.
like, I thought about my shelf. I said, I don't have that.
You don't have
on my
Onslaught.
shelf. That must be rectified immediately.
Oh yes.
So yeah, I just got that, and I should be here next week. So I am excited.
And Ariel, all the ats are in the description below. At Hollywood Scholar, at Brutal Plan Comics, at if Grump was here, at Grumpy Gaming, and at Dragon Lady. It's all down there. So just go click on those, take everybody's channel. I provide. All right. So Dragon Lady, what's going on this week with you?
Well, since it's just dropped on Netflix, I might have to poison my brain with Morbius this week. I'm curious to see how bad it actually is.
Morbid time.
Yep.
Controversial. It's not as bad as people said.
I try and keep an open mind, but I
don't have an open mind. My mind is closed. I'm a bigot.
Sorry
Anyway, all right.
about
Well,
that.
there you go. Okay. All right. So I hope you enjoy it. Then again, let's be honest. Dragon Lady likes a lot of the crap we hate. So
that's what makes it special.
My apologies.
You don't need to apologize.
I just stay and laugh off like an idiot.
We still keep her around, though. We like her.
I just stay and laughing like an idiot.
As for myself, in about 15-20 minutes time, I will be over on Star Trek Engage for TOS episode 23, A Taste of Armageddon. We're gonna have some fun over there, all that kind of stuff. You can stay right here for it, or you can go to any of the Engage crew. We're all simul streaming it there. Later tonight, I might stream over on Renaissance Third Arcade. If you haven't subscribed to it, go subscribe to my gaming channel. All gamingers have moved over there. War Crusader Kings 3. I just want to chill out, have a good time. After that, Mellow Mondays, 8:45 p.m. Eastern. We're just gonna chill out. I'm gonna try and strike up with something I'm gonna bring up this week with Devil there, because Devil is a good person to talk about. Devil, let me do it. Beelzehub, essentially my co-host on that. We're going to talk about things being called greatest ever, this and that. I want to have a conversation about It's something. As a guy who hosts a ranked show, Devil's the perfect person to start that conversation. So I want to talk about that. So we're doing that on tomorrow night, along with the rest of the week. Videos, takes, no reviews because not till February. Review season for me begins again in February, but there will be Natural 20 on Wednesday. Other gaming streams on Renaissance Nerd Arcade throughout the week. And then next Saturday, Jed and I will return for Saturday Night Drive-In. This week, we're watching Flight of the Intruder, starring Willem Dafoe and Danny Glover. Vietnam movie. It's a good one. I love this movie. It's a fun one. I'm going to enjoy myself. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm looking forward to it. And then, Jed, what's our movie the following week that you're excited to do? Because you know already that while I will give it an objective grade, my subjective grade is going to be me bitching and moaning. So
well, I've been tortured by Adam a few times in the last few months. Don't want to name any names like the Golden Child. Won't bring up that name at all. Nothing happened there. Or maybe The Secret of My Success. That's not something I'm going to bring up. But I decided it's time for a little payback with an absolute classic from the 80s. A definitive fantasy film that I think defined the genre. And definitely one of the better romantic films out there. The Princess Bride.
I call it fairy tale more than fantasy.
Fairy tale's a subset of fantasy, I'd say.
Fairy tale.
I'd call that a subset.
Anybody who's heard me before, I don't hate it. I went to high school when it came out.
The book?
No, the movie. Shut up. And I was with the people who could quote that movie word for word. Imagine being constantly at places where everybody is quoting it. It's Monty Python level of quoting. You have to understand, I have PTSD over this shit. All right? I have a problem.
Poor baby.
Problem. So listen, I'm ready to be the bad guy on this one. All right? I'm gonna complain the whole goddamn time. All right. I have purposely not watched this movie in 30 years because it just is annoying to me. I don't hate it. It's just too much in a short period of time of my life that I have this movie crammed down my throat and then be told it's one of the greatest things ever. So we're gonna do that. That should be a rowdy one.
Legatus, I did not say comedy. I said romantic films. I did not say rom-com. Let's be clear. There is comedy in it, but let's be clear. I'm not retarded.
We're gonna
today.
Listen. That's probably going to be a real good one in 2 weeks. Princess Bride, Saturday Night Drive-In. It's going to be. I guarantee it's going to be lively. I don't know. It's going to be shouting matches, but I am going to be bitching and moaning. I promise you that. So there you go. And then we'll be right back here next week, 2 p.m. Eastern, for more Roundtable. Excuse me. Drank that water too much fast. All right. We'll be right back here. Roundtable. Thank you, one and all. Hit that like button. Subscribe to everybody's channels. We will catch you on the other side. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Have a good night or day wherever you may be.